Maria Holder Diabetes Center.
1 in 3 adults with diabetes also has high blood pressure. Don't ignore it.
15 diabetic-friendly minutes are about to come smiling through your radio with the compliments of the Barbados Diabetes Foundation.
And all that smiling, I would like to know what happened in today's show.
In today's show,
so functional movement is my way of saying that we're interested not only in getting from point A to point B, but we're interested in how you're doing that.
Wouldn't all of us like to keep moving from point A to point B? Dr. Kristen Curtin shows us how. We focus on functional movement. Functional movement, that's all it's trying to let you do.
Have that kind of discussion about how you're going to cope with what's going on during the crop over season.
Dr. Diane Bradford, Dr. D, has some wide-ranging crop over tips to get you crop over ready for the Kadooment Road. Whether you are diabetic or not, you need to hear these. All this and more coming up with the compliments of the Maria Holder Diabetes Center, the Barbados Diabetic Ice Screening Program, and the bank that can get you from point A to point B to achieve your financial dreams. Republic Bank.
Dream a dream and watch it become a reality. You can do anything. Pull up a chair, come sit and come share with Republic Bank. You can do anything. Yes, we're the one for you, making dreams come true. We're the one for you, your partner for life. We're the one for you, Republic Bank.
In 2026, diabetic eye screening and vascular services, the Maria Holder Diabetes Center is your #1 choice for the best diabetic services at the best price. If you are diabetic or pre-diabetic or would just like to get your numbers checked, diabetes doctors, nurses, a dietitian, and a range of health professionals are available to serve you. Just call 417-0305 for the Maria Holder Diabetes Center located in Warren St. Michael, saving your life and saving you money. But members get 10% off.
A good Saturday morning, VOBers. Peter Boy's here in your VOB house to move you from point A to point B when it comes to your health, as I share information on how the Maria Holder Diabetes Center located in Warren St. Michael can help you. If you are diabetic, they can help you. If you are pre-diabetic, they can help you. If you are not diabetic but you would like to get a checkup, they can help you too. If you would like to jump in the bath for Kadooment, well, they can't help you with that, but they can give you some health tips to ensure that you can jump on the road safely, which is what Dr. D will be doing real soon. Getting your eyes screened for diabetic retinopathy, they can help you with that. Diabetics need to be doing that once a year. You should know that by now. Getting a vascular screening to make sure you don't have bad circulation, they can fix that too.
They can help me to lose weight so I can look like Rihanna?
Well, dietitian Victoria Cox can give you a meal plan that can help you to achieve your health goals. But when it comes to looking at Rihanna part, they might not be able to help you there. The Maria Holder Diabetes Center, give them a call at 417-0305. Listen for that number again at the end of the show in case you missed it.
The Maria Holder Diabetes Center.
Okay, VOBers, get ready to move and get active.
Oh gosh, no, active.
Active like that, because it is time for us to learn about functional movement this morning with Dr. Kristen Curtin, starting with Dr. D asking,
I want you just to explain or break down a little bit more what functional movement is for any listeners who don't understand.
Right, so functional movement is my way of saying that we're interested not only in getting from point A to point B, but we're interested in how you're doing that. So if you have, for example, flat feet, if you have flat feet, your body starts to make some minor adjustments that you might not be aware of. Your calves might start to get a bit tight, your hamstrings might get a bit tight, and then that translates into your hips. So your hip muscles might get a bit tight, and then if you were to stand and look at the mirror, some people might say, but one side looks higher than the other, or one side looks lower than the other. So all of those are imbalances. And what we do is that we incorporate stretching, we incorporate certain types of movements that helps to correct those things so that when you're done, hopefully you're not only fitter, but you're feeling better at the end of it.
Okay, so I just want to just to pull that together very quickly. So we talked about exercise for strength. We talked about exercise for cardiovascular health, to keep your heart in good condition, your blood pressure lower, cholesterol lower, and then you also mentioned stretching. So another good point, a lot of people don't realize that when you're living with diabetes, because of the sugar, you get a lot more tightening of the tendons and shortening of the tendons.
Absolutely.
It's really important to maintain the flexibility so that you don't end up, with tight tendons. You can get arthritis around the tendons because of all that tightening and inflammation from the sugar. This is such a huge topic, and as I said, we will continue talking about it, but I think our main message for today is that we want everybody to start moving. Think about how you can move, whether it's something simple that you can do in your home, and if you are having a problem with pain and tightness and those other things, I want to say that just taking painkillers is not the answer. We need to think about how we get our bodies moving again, and we are here to answer any of your questions. Next week is going to continue on because I have like 50 million questions in my brain right now. And don't forget that exercise can lower your blood sugar. How often would you suggest that we exercise if we're living with diabetes or an NCD?
So the general guidelines recommend firstly exercising as often as you can.
Yeah.
But if we're going to look at specific numbers, which I know some people like, when we're looking at for cardio, so when I say cardio, we're thinking aerobic exercise. So examples would be walking, running if you're able, but if you're now starting, please start with walking, riding, swimming. That's 30 minutes a day for at least 5 days a week. But please remember, if this conversation gets through to you, which I hope it does, and you haven't been doing anything for a long time, you're not trying to start at 30 minutes 5 days this week and then you're sore and can't move next week. So we want you to know that it's okay to gradually build up. If you have to start 2 days a week and then 3 days next week, the goal is to finally get to 5 days a week of cardio. And then strength training, the guidelines are at least twice a week, and flexibility is really daily. You can't do it too much.
Okay, so all of you office workers, just and I saw some wonderful things like online on YouTube, like for office exercise that you can do.
There's so many things online.
Counteract all this bad posture we have. Get out of the office and walk around at lunch. But as I said, this conversation can go on forever, so we'll tie this off for today. Happy weekend to everybody, and we'll come back and we'll look at another segment of exercise next week.
And next week we'll probably call it exercise is medicine.
Yeah.
We'll see you then.
Okay, bye.
Oh gosh, now active. We look forward to getting active again with Dr. Kristen Curtin and Dr. D another Saturday morning on the Maria Holder Diabetes Center radio show. But no, we will now actively listen as Dr. D gives us some health tips to get us co-op over ready. Starting out with, you notice how hot these days is, Dr. D?
It's very hot nowadays. Hydrate, and hydrate. Hydrate with water. That is the best thing to hydrate the body with. And also in view possibly of some of the things you may be consuming, you also want to make sure you're drinking more water as well. So you're just keeping the body well hydrated, getting rid of any extra sugars or other things, hint, which you may not want to hang around in the body for too long, and you don't want to become dehydrated. Okay, so make that water bottle trendy, and even better, take your refillable water bottle with you, and set a new trend. Although I know lots of people are doing a great job in hydrating with water these days, and continue to promote that. Avoid sugary sweetened beverages. It can be very difficult and even tempting sometimes to start guzzling those sugar sweetened beverages and soft drinks. We really want to encourage persons who are event planners, patrons, etc. Please consider catering for persons living with diabetes. There are a lot of people living with pre-diabetes and diabetes and hypertension in Barbados, and it can be very disconcerting when you go and you can't even find either a bottle of water or maybe like a diet soft drink, although we advise people generally not to consume them on a regular basis. I mean, let's be real, we're all human, we want to have fun, and if that is the lesser evil, well, maybe we can do that, but please cater to those persons. But generally try to avoid avoid sugar-sweetened beverages, including excesses of processed fruit juice as well. Avoid the excesses of sugar-sweetened beverages and processed fruit juices as well. Everything in moderation, my friends. And my final addition for today, and we'll get back to next week, our other additions are of course gonna be, well, that number one topic, alcohol. Okay, so it's like smoking. If you don't smoke, don't start. If you don't drink, don't start. If you are going to consume alcohol, please do so only in moderation, being careful to avoid the things which are higher in sugars and can actually raise your blood sugar and maybe make you not feel so happy the following morning. Also, we know that if you're going to be consuming alcohol, it's always advised that you don't consume alcohol on an empty stomach, and that goes for almost everybody, whether you have diabetes or not. I just want to highlight some things about alcohol. Alcohol obviously has different amounts of calories, different amounts of sugar, so you may want to think about, okay, this is my favorite drink, or what's the best thing to consume if I'm going to choose to consume it in moderation. Don't become a beer guzzler because that's what your group or your posse is doing. It won't serve you well the following morning. You may have a very high sugar, you may be very dehydrated, headaches, etc. But another caution about alcohol can raise the blood sugar immediately, but because of its impact on the liver, it can actually drop the blood sugar several hours later. So please do be careful if you choose to consume alcohol. And also you need to consider whether the alcohol may be interacting with your medication, making it work more potently or less potently. So have that candid discussion with your healthcare providers. We believe always in being upfront, and have that candid discussion about how you're going to cope with what's going on during the crop over season. I want you to be safe on the road, be considerate when driving, and let's just all stay safe this season and have a good season. We'll come back with part 2 next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for those crop over tips, Dr. D. As we go into our Saturday song of the day, this is the music of Mikey Mercer, Party Monarch and Sweet Soca Monarch winner for 2026. What we will be doing when we go on the road for Kadooman, walk up like a pigeon. Compliments, the Maria Holder Diabetes Center and Republic Bank.
Maria Holder Diabetes Center.
All of the woman, all of the man, fill up this country. Let me see your flag, baby. Walk up like a pigeon, walk up like a pigeon, walk up like a pigeon. All of the woman, all of the man, fill up this country. Let me get on back, baby. Walk up like a pigeon, walk up like a pigeon, walk up like a pigeon. Soca in we veins, walking up in we bones. Yeah, every single time preparing before the road, but no time for style. We ain't got no shit, we behave your whole. And you know, the crews are strong, the minds gone clear. It's only love and unity inside our head. So now is the time to shine. Let me put on the show. Let's see the all of the woman, all of the man, fill up this country. Let me see your flag, let me walk up like a pigeon, walk up like a pigeon.
Cutting-edge international medical services are waiting for you at the Maria Holder Diabetes Center. If you are listening to VOB right now and you are diabetic or pre-diabetic, vascular screening, diabetic eye screening, dietitian consultation, foot services can all be accessed by calling 417-0305. Make that call today. The last 15 minutes you heard on VOB was brought to you with the compliments of the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program, the Maria Holder Diabetes Center, and Republic Bank. Until next time.
Eye exams, kidney checks, foot exams, these are all part of whole person diabetes care.
Did you know nearly 1 in 5 adults in Barbados have diabetes? Did you know diabetes is one of the leading causes of vision loss in the world? Regular eye screening can save your eyes. Contact the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program today at 243-3937 to find out how to get your simple digital eye screening done for just $100.
Dream a dream and watch it become a reality. You can do anything. Pull up a chair, come sit and come share with Republic Bank. You can do anything.
Holder Diabetes Center.